Good morning. It's the second day of the second month, 2021. It's also, in America, Groundhog Day. Mm. I, I haven't checked to see how it went with the groundhog today. I'm sure that it has already made the news. I am. I am God's. I'm God's what? Uh, it says on the shirt, I'm God's son. I'm God's son. Now, how you gonna treat me? Do unto others. Treat others like you want to be treated. Read that somewhere. I did. But this morning, I'm talking, and I have looked at the voice. The voice of the one speaking. That's usually what you hear, unless you're in a crowded room where there's a lot of noise. Crowded around a speaker. When Jesus spoke, I am sure you could hear some murmurs, the murmuring of the crowd. Some days they were put into a rage because of his words. But he spoke, as did a lot of other prophets. He spoke clearly, he spoke openly, and he was not ashamed. That's what Jesus did. He did what prophets do. The prophets of God. Oh, yeah. He was Mary's son, no doubt. He was a son of man, no doubt. He was the Son of God, no doubt. And God has exalted him, no doubt. But he was born to be a king. And like I've said before, a king he will be. The voice that Adam heard when he was hiding, whose voice was it? Do you know? Whose voice was it? Adam was the first man to hear God's voice. Eve was certainly the first woman to hear God's voice. All of her children that were born, they got to know God. They really did. And they could see him, and they could hear him. They could. And God had 930 years with Adam. He did. I don't know that there was a day that God did not see Adam while he was alive. The day that God stopped seeing Adam was the day he was put in the dirt, the ground. God saw Noah, and Noah saw God. So did his 3 sons. They were born babies, but by the time they were 100 years old, they had grown. They were mature, and each one of them had a wife. Noah had a wife, and his sons had a wife, each. I don't see any record of Noah's wife's name. I don't see a record of any of Noah's 3 sons' wives' names. But they didn't see God every day after the flood. God had been busy for a year. And something was built in heaven that you and I have not seen. It's in heaven. It's what is known as the New Jerusalem, or the Jerusalem above. It's a very large city that will come down from heaven. And God will be there. He's there now. He'll be there then. The voice. Many voices. Jesus heard many voices. He did. He could distinguish the voices. He could. You could say he could discern. He could. Can you? Are you discerning? Really? Jesus said to some people one day, you can look at the sky in the afternoon and you know what's going to happen. And you can look at the sky in the morning and you know what's coming. And if anyone will read a Bible, God did something with a flood years ago. The next time God says something to the earth, it's not going to be with water. It will be with fire. Our God is a consuming fire. Have you obeyed his voice or the voice of another? Think about that. Think about that today. Please think about that.